The sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm, golden hue over the landscape as Jake and Mia pulled into the gravel driveway of the remote cabin. Nestled among towering pines, the cabin appeared to be an idyllic retreat from the chaos of their everyday lives. They had planned this weekend for months, hoping to rekindle the romance that had begun to fade amidst the demands of work and routine. The couple stepped out of their car, inhaling the crisp, pine-scented air that filled their lungs and invigorated their spirits. "Look at this place. It's perfect," Mia exclaimed, her eyes sparkling with excitement. The cabin had a rustic charm, complete with wooden beams and a stone fireplace that promised cozy nights. Jake smiled, feeling the tension from his shoulders ease. They unpacked their bags and settled in, enjoying a dinner of grilled steaks and a bottle of red wine, laughter mingling with the sound of crackling logs in the fireplace. As night enveloped the cabin, they cozied up on the couch, the warmth of the fire creating an inviting atmosphere. But soon, as they began to wind down, an unsettling sound began to disrupt their peace. A soft, rhythmic tapping echoed from the window, barely audible but persistent, a branch brushing against the glass. Jake tried to dismiss it, attributing the noise to the natural surroundings. "Did you hear that?" Mia asked, her brow furrowing. "It's probably just the wind." "This place is isolated. It's bound to have some quirks," Jake reassured her, trying to keep the mood light. Despite his attempts, Mia couldn't shake the feeling of unease. She glanced out the window, where shadows danced among the trees. "It feels like the forest is alive," she whispered, pulling the blanket tighter around her shoulders. Jake laughed softly, leaning in to kiss her forehead. "It's just the wind. Let's enjoy our getaway." They eventually retired to bed, but the tapping continued. The soft whispers of the branch against the window seemed to grow louder, like a voice trying to communicate. Mia's sleep was restless, and each time she stirred, the sound sent chills down her spine. Jake, however, was blissfully unaware, snoring softly beside her. The next morning, the sun streamed through the windows, illuminating the cabin in a warm glow. Over breakfast, Mia hesitated, glancing at Jake. "Do you think we should check the window?" The sound it felt strange last night. Jake waved her concern away, brushing crumbs from his plate. "It's just a branch, Mia, nothing to worry about. Let's hike today. Explore the woods. I promise you'll love it." Mia nodded, eager to shake off her unease. They set out on a picturesque hike, the beauty of the forest captivating them. But as they wandered deeper into the woods, Mia felt a lingering sensation that they were being watched. The trees stood like sentinels, their gnarled branches stretching overhead as if to shield secrets from prying eyes. The peaceful ambiance they had anticipated began to twist, morphing into an eerie presence that loomed just beyond their sight. As dusk approached, they returned to the cabin, exhaustion settling in their bones. Once inside, they lit the fireplace, the crackling flames momentarily dispelling the chill creeping into the air. They tried to brush off the strangeness of the day, but the whispers returned that night. This time, they seemed to carry a sense of urgency, as if pleading for attention. "Mia," Jake said softly, trying to focus on her, but his eyes darted toward the window. "Do you think we should really check it out?" Mia's heart raced. "Maybe it's just a story the wind is telling us." Jake chuckled, but there was an edge of discomfort in his voice. "Let's not overthink it." That night, as they tried to sleep, the whispers grew more insistent. The branch rattled against the glass, a sinister rhythm that echoed through the silence. "Jake," Mia whispered, her voice trembling. "What if it's more than just a branch? What if something is trying to warn us?" "Enough," Jake said, his voice sharp. "It's nothing but a tree. Let's get some sleep." But even he felt a growing dread. The following morning, the sun hung low in the sky, casting long shadows through the cabin. Mia awoke to an unsettling dream of dark figures lurking in the trees, their whispers calling her name. Shaking off the feeling, she found Jake brewing coffee, a faint smile on his face. "Want to explore the area? There's a river nearby," he suggested, hoping to ease the tension. They set off, their laughter filling the air, but the atmosphere felt heavier, like a storm brewing on the horizon. As they walked, the trees seemed to close in around them, their branches swaying ominously. Suddenly, Mia stumbled upon something half buried in the ground, a weathered old diary. Curious, she opened it, her eyes scanning the faded pages. The entries told of a couple who had stayed in the cabin decades ago, detailing their idyllic retreat turned nightmarish as the whispers began to haunt them, driving them to madness. Each entry grew more frantic, filled with pleas for help and desperate cries. "Mia, what's wrong?" Jake's voice snapped her back to reality. She turned the diary toward him, her heart racing. "This diary, it's about the cabin." They heard the whispers, too. Jake's face paled as he read the entries, a creeping unease settling in. "Maybe we should leave," he suggested, but Mia shook her head, feeling an inexplicable pull toward the mystery. "We can't just abandon this. We need to find out what happened." That night, as darkness blanketed the cabin, they prepared for another restless evening. The tapping at the window returned, but this time it felt different, more like a warning than a mere nuisance. They decided to investigate, armed with flashlights and the diary clutched tightly in Mia's hands. As they approached the window, the wind howled outside, shaking the cabin to its core. "Are you ready?" Jake asked, his voice barely above a whisper. Mia nodded, determination coursing through her veins. They opened the window, and the chill of the night air rushed in, mingling with the sounds of the forest. The whispers intensified, weaving a tapestry of sound that felt almost sentient. "What do you want?" Mia shouted into the darkness, her voice trembling with fear. Suddenly, the branches twisted, contorting into unnatural shapes, shadows dancing in the moonlight. The whispers formed coherent words, a haunting melody that beckoned them closer. "Help us, we were lost. Find the heart before it consumes you." Jake's grip tightened on Mia's arm, panic setting in. "We need to go back inside," he urged, but Mia felt a magnetic force drawing her closer to the trees. "Wait. There's something more. We can't leave them." As she stepped outside, the air grew thick, and the whispers wrapped around her like a cold embrace. Jake pulled her back, but she shook her head, her eyes wide with realization. "They're trapped! We have to help them!" Suddenly, the ground trembled beneath their feet, and the trees shifted, revealing a hidden path. Mia took a deep breath, glancing back at Jake, who looked torn between fear and loyalty. "I can't leave you. We do this together," he declared, and together they stepped onto the path, drawn by an unseen force. The deeper they ventured into the woods, the more vivid the whispers became, echoing stories of love, loss, and betrayal. Shadows flickered around them, shapes morphing into figures from the diary. "We are bound to this place, cursed to whisper our tales until someone finds the heart of the forest." One figure spoke, its voice echoing like a long-lost friend. "What is the heart?" Mia asked, her heart racing as they continued forward. The figure pointed deeper into the darkness, and they followed, adrenaline surging through their veins. They stumbled upon a clearing, bathed in an eerie silver light. In the center stood a gnarled tree, its trunk twisted and scarred. "The heart lies within," the figure whispered. "But to find it, you must confront your own fears." Jake stepped forward, fear etched on his face. "What do we have to do?" The figures around them began to fade, the whispers turning into a cacophony of chaos. "Only by facing the truth will the heart reveal itself," they urged. Mia took a step closer, feeling the pull of the tree. "We need to face whatever this is together." They joined hands, the connection grounding them as they approached the heart of the tree. A pulsating glow emanated from its core, illuminating their faces. As they reached out, memories flooded their minds, moments of joy, pain, and the struggles they had faced as a couple. The whispers crescendoed, merging into a single voice that filled the clearing. "You are the key to breaking the curse." Jake's eyes locked onto Mia's, and they whispered in unison, "We are stronger together." In that moment of unity, the heart revealed itself, a brilliant light erupting from the tree, enveloping them in warmth. The shadows that had haunted the cabin dissipated, the whispers fading into a soothing breeze. As the light faded, they found themselves back at the cabin. The atmosphere lightened, the air filled with the sweet scent of pine. Mia looked at Jake, her heart racing with exhilaration. "We did it. We freed them." Jake pulled her close, relief washing over him. "We faced our fears and emerged stronger. We can conquer anything together." As they settled into the cabin, the whispers had transformed, now a gentle lullaby that wrapped around them, promising peace instead of dread. The cabin, once a source of horror, had become a sanctuary, a reminder that even in darkness, love could prevail.